Check out my latest album, Primus Ignis.
Has pushed this central hospital to the brink.
7th, 1945. What they found was a tragic scene of mass extermination, the likes of which our world had never witnessed before.
God, right? God did all this. God allowed all this suffering, all this pain. For what? What is the purpose? What is the great message? Have you ever wondered what God will ever allow such evil to fester in our neighborhood? Have you ever wondered who allowed this stench to enter your house? Approximately 2000 years ago, a group known today as Gnostics characterized a deity they believed permitted evil to thrive in our world as a morally bankrupt beast, self-centered and oblivious to moral judgment. This entity considered itself the epicenter of the universe, embodying the entirety of law and creation. This creature became known as Yaldabaoth or the Demiurge. This creature is not pure evil, it is not Satan. It is a creator that mistakes power for truth. It displays a form of ignorance by believing it is the ultimate authority, oblivious to the truth that it originated from divine emanation of Sophia, ignorant to the fact that it was created from something much higher and wiser than itself. Just as the Demiurge governs the world, permitting horrors and injustices, not out of malice but due to imperfection and indifference, so too do the expansive systems of our contemporary society, be it states, platforms, or algorithms follow suit. They enforce order through law, not insight. They just operate. Algorithms dictate what you consume and what you are advertised to on a daily basis. Rarely do you search for new content on your Black Mirror. The advent of shorts format only further cemented the algorithm into the system, which feeds onto itself. These systems classify what you should watch without order or understanding, predict without wisdom, optimize without values, and act at scale without accountability. This is law without self-knowledge. It does not know why in any human sense, yet its outputs are treated as final. That's demiurgic authority. Besides the Demiurge, the Gnostics believed in the existence of oppressors of mankind called archons that trap our souls from ascending to higher planes of existence, keeping us jailed in a material world, forever ignorant to the reality of the universe. In face of ignorance, there is no dialogue, no understanding to be reached. It leaves you feeling isolated, as if trapped in a room filled with shadows that refuse to acknowledge your existence. We can find modern equivalents in recommendation systems, moderation algorithms, risk scoring engines, automated surveillance systems. You never argue with them. You never see their reasoning. You just hit a limit. They don't hate you. They don't know you. I would argue that that is worse. Ignorance is worse than malice because you cannot appeal to it. Gnostics believed that salvation from oppressors came through gnosis, which means wisdom. But in today's world, we are going further in the opposite direction. Instead of using the internet for gathering knowledge, for personal growth, or the betterment of mankind, we are being used by it, and it is using us to create artificial intelligence. And now we are afraid that it becomes sentient. AI doesn't need consciousness in order to dominate. Authority comes from delegation, not intent. The most dangerous thing about AI is not that it thinks, is that we treat its output as judgment. Again, to Gnostics, salvation came from knowledge, but in modern discourse, what is encouraged is working on better AI models, aligning AI, fixing biases, and adding more guardrails. This is Demiurge reform, not liberation from it. The Gnostic answer was knowledge of the system's limits, refusal to confuse order with truth, and interior sovereignty over imposed categories. Translated today to do not outsource meaning, judgment, or moral authority to systems that cannot possess them. That does not mean smashing machines. It means epistemic disobedience. Artificial intelligence is the perfect contemporary symbol since it is uniquely suited to inherit the Demiurge role. It speaks in language, it produces answers, it mimics understanding, and it has no access to transcendence, context, or suffering. It sounds like wisdom. That's the trap. The danger is not AI waking up. The danger is humans going to sleep and letting procedural output harden into law. The Demiurge's greatest deception was not cruelty, it was convincing creation that its order was ultimate. If we begin to treat algorithmic outputs as neutral truth, procedural decisions as moral verdicts, and optimization as wisdom, then we have not created a new God. We have recreated an old mistake. The question is no longer whether technology is evil. The question is whether we will surrender discernment to systems that cannot understand the weight of the lives they structure. If Gnosticism were reborn today, its central heresy will be no system that cannot suffer has the right to rule those who can.